Welcome, everybody. We are here on our LAFC channels. Good to see everyone. We already have a bunch of people waiting because we have just been able to announce the CONCACAF Champions Cup draw. It has just been completed. We are getting all the information. If you have any questions, we'll do our very best to answer them here on the show. Welcome, everybody. We have a path, and we are going to give you a look at the bracket as well, as there are a lot of moving pieces. So the draw just took place. If you watched it on whatever channel here on YouTube or on TUDN or Fox Sports 2, FS2, you would have seen it. We had to wait a little bit. We were in that first pot for LAFC of 8 teams. So we knew we were going to get a Central American team, a Canadian Premier League team, and there were a couple potential MLS teams. So as you will recall, last year, we drew a lot of teams from MLS. In fact, the entire tournament was MLS, from the Colorado Rapids to the Columbus Crew to Inter Miami. So 27 teams, 5 teams have a bye. So those 22 teams are playing for 11 spots to join those 5 teams. LAFC is amongst them. And Scarf, I hear you. I am excited for Honduras. I probably won't go, but I know a lot of LAFC fans will go. We don't want to put the cart in front of the horse here, but the path also potentially could include another Central American team. And we don't want to overlook Real España, Sede Real España of Honduras, who is the draw that LAFC got. Games to be determined. It'll be that first week of February. Don't have the dates just yet. February 3rd, February 4th, or 5th. Great questions coming in. I have to look at this bracket. We will look at it together. If you have any questions, we have our friends from Korea who I imagine are tuning in for the CONCACAF Champions Cup for the first time. And yes, Son Heung-min will be able to add CONCACAF Champions Cup play into his incredible resume. And by the way, an incredible moment today where the mural for Son Heung-min was put up right close to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. He autographed it. He spoke to the Tottenham Hotspur fans, got some closure there, which was really important for him because he wasn't able to be in London with regards to departing ways with regards to saying goodbye to the fans there. He had that chance today. We have the bracket. Let us take a look. And once again, we can tell you there in the bottom left, Real España of Honduras versus LAFC. The winner there will take on Alajuelense of Costa Rica, a team that LAFC played before in 2023, went down there and had a famous win. It was a Denny Bouanga hat trick on their way to the Champions Cup final. On the top half of that bracket, the teams that you would think, and we don't want to put them through, Cruz Azul, the reigning champion, and Monterrey, who is the richest club in Mexico. So if LAFC were to make a quarterfinal, if they were going to make a quarterfinal, they would likely face Cruz Azul and Monterrey. Someone was asking me what game I would look forward to. A Cruz Azul Monterrey round of 16 game is insane. So we will get into that. We can also tell you everyone in the bracket wanted to play Inter Miami. Inter Miami on the top half of the bracket. They will get Nashville SC or Ottawa. But Real España, there were a couple Honduran teams in this group. The big team is Club Olimpia, who have the history, who have won the CONCACAF Champions Cup in the past. LAFC didn't get that. Olimpia is in that bracket on the top right against Club America. Real España, very competitive team. Do not have the silverware of Olimpia. Haven't won a CONCACAF Champions Cup. They have won 12 Honduran titles. On their roster, Gustavo Mura is their top scorer from their last tournament. Their new season is just beginning now. They got to this competition by qualifying through the CONCACAF Central American pathway, and now they will face LAFC. First round of games, February 3rd and through 5th. The second leg will take place the following week. The tournament is a sprint. If you're not familiar with it, it will start in early February. It will end at the end of May. So the rounds will be kept very busy. LAFC, in my perspective, got an excellent draw, not only because of a path that should allow them a really good shot at a quarterfinal, but you're also getting to go to Central America. So, all due respect to the Canadian teams, we remember last year, and the freezing conditions in Colorado, we don't have to see Hugo Lloris and at the time Olivier Giroud with frozen beards. You're going to go to Central America where the weather will be good. Look, Central America has its challenges. These are tough places to play. And now LAFC will head there into a very much of a cauldron. Now, I also think it's a positive move because I've spoken to many folks at LAFC, Pat Aviles and Jimmy Lopez, who does all these stuff with the supporters. This is a great opportunity to branch the brand of LAFC. So they could do that in Honduras and they could do it again in Costa Rica. A ton of fans went down there in 2023, and it was an experience, to put it kindly. So you get to branch out, and now you have a team with Son Heung-min. You have a team in Real España who are probably doing backflips because they don't get Messi, but they get the next best thing, which is Son Heung-min, high-profile LAFC squad that has made its way through this competition. So I love this draw. I think Olimpia, keep in mind, if it was Olimpia, which it could have been, they play at the Estadio Olímpico. So Real España is located in San Pedro Sula in Honduras. Olimpia play at the Estadio Olímpico, which is the national stadium of Honduras, 37,000. I can assure you, Son Heung-min and LAFC draw Olimpia, that place is packed. 37,000 catrachos screaming their heads off. Difficult place. You ask the U.S. men's national team, playing at the Estadio Olímpico in San Pedro Sula is hard work, and many times they lose. I'm not comparing the national team to the club team, but that is a tall order. And I don't want to put bulletin material, but Real España, these are just facts, haven't had the success of Olimpia, didn't finish as high as Olimpia. And their stadium, the Estadio Morazán, seats 18,000. So it will be packed. It will be atmospheric, but it won't be 40,000 fans on top of LAFC. That makes a difference when you're looking at a favorable draw. Christopher Sullivan, no tuxedos in Central America. Bring A-game mentality. My friend Sully, that's a very good point. You're not going to see the beautiful game. If LAFC want to ping it around and they're not going to allow you to do that. You're going to have to dig deep. The field may not be ideal that you might see at BMO Stadium or in many places in Major League Soccer, but you play at turf sometimes here as well. Catracho steel drums, rocking that place. It is so true. LAFC had that experience in Costa Rica in 2023. That's almost 3 years ago. It will be 3 years ago by the time they play this again. First round games, I saw someone that asked that. The first round games will be February 3rd, February 4th, February 5th, with LAFC being the higher seed. The first leg will be in San Pedro Sula, the second leg at BMO Stadium. So check the local accounts and get your tickets in right now. That's going to be here before you know it. That Costa Rica trip was amazing. Is the tiebreaker in the tournament still the away goals? Yes, it will be the case. And I'll get you the details. And I don't believe there's extra time. You'll go the 90 minutes. Right. No snow. LAFC had to deal with the snow. Again, this is a different challenge, but at least they don't have to deal with it in a way that they're just going to hit weather that they could never have dreamt of. The cold front in Colorado was the coldest it was all year. Remember that. We'll look at some of the matchups. Jose bringing a good point up about Lionel Messi at the Azteca. So that top half, Messi has the draw. If America beat Olimpia, it would be Club America and Messi. I think that's great news for the rest of the field. Potentially the two best teams in the tournament, although Toluca is the highest ranked team in Mexico. The top two teams in the tournament on the other side of the bracket of LAFC. And one of them will get knocked out. Da 230. Cruz Azul, Pumas, and Monterrey scare me a bit. Galaxy just for the rivalry. I think that's very accurate. Those are all really good teams. Cruz Azul and Monterrey on that bracket with LAFC. Again, we got to go one step at a time to see how far they can go. Andrew, you don't like the staff? I'll tell you what. I will tell you this. Last year, there was a lot of turnover in the roster. As we head to 2026, there are 23 players already signed on the LAFC roster. LAFC had new players coming in. You have 2 weeks of a camp to get ready for it because this will be the first game. The game in Real España, the first game of the season. The next game will be the game against Inter Miami at the Coliseum. So you don't have a lot of time to warm up. But what LAFC has, a coach in Marc Dos Santos who knows these players and ready to go, and he doesn't have a lot of turnover. In fact, you could probably line up 10 of the 11 starting players for this LAFC team for that game. There is no way you could have done that a year ago or in 2023. This will benefit LAFC that they can, as much as they can, hit the ground running with Denny Bouanga and Mark Delgado and Son Heung-min and everything looking forward as I'm getting some more information here. So we'll give you as many details as we have. Let's look at some of the questions. Bouanga from Fairly Ndong. Bouanga is a CONCACAF Champions Cup monster. He's had multiple hat tricks in this tournament, and he did it in Central America. Lots of great history at España. Carlos Pavón, Luciano Emilio. Buba Lopez, former LAFC goalkeeper, is a member of that team. So there's a lot of good stuff there. Sonny goes to Honduras, papa. Yeah, Honduras, a lot of good history here in Major League Soccer. We'll see what that Daniel Maldonado, who was the Honduran captain, who now plays in Russia, a Honduran as well. So we do have a Honduran connection. You say Real España is going to go crazy. I read that wrong from SV Master Up. Real España are celebrating. This is a huge draw for them. They're getting one of the biggest stars in Son Heung-min in their building. This doesn't happen all that frequently. Olympia is doing the same thing. Lionel Messi is going to Honduras. So this is very cool stuff for a variety of reasons. Again, this is Max Bretos, for everyone joining in. We remind you to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll have a lot more sound later this week and moving forward about this tournament and where it stands for LAFC as we move forward. But I love it. As I said, I like the draw because it's not going to be freezing. It's pretty favorable. You don't get another MLS team, and you get to expand your brand in Honduras. You get some Honduran kids to wear an LAFC hat. You get them to fall in love so that LAFC is their second favorite team, which we felt the first time LAFC made the CONCACAF Champions Cup when they went to León. There's still a residual effect as to how that is viewed with regards to the impression that LAFC did with Carlos Vela and the way they were able to perform that night and eventually knock out León in a year that the first time, which was interrupted by COVID, with regards to making a CONCACAF Champions final in that tournament in 2020. They did it again in 2023. So LAFC, who snuck into this tournament, are able to make that. Let's take a look at signed goalkeeper Mario Gonzalez from El Salvador. I'll see what I can do. All right, let's see. We'll get some information here. There's a knockout format, home and away, ties in the early rounds, aggregate goals and away goals determine winners, leading to a single leg final. So the final will be one game as it was last year that Cruz Azul won. Tiebreakers include extra time and penalty shootouts with a new 2017 structure that we saw. And we expect the Liga MX teams and the MLS teams to advance. There are 9 MLS teams here, and it's Messi, it's LAFC, it's Seattle, it's San Diego, it's all the teams that did well, Cincinnati, Vancouver. It is the Galaxy are in there as well, and it is a loaded tournament. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Where are the games against Real España? We will find out the exact date. It will be February 3rd, 4th, or 5th. That'll be the game in Honduras. We know a lot of people will travel down there, and just get all your paperwork squared away. Make sure you travel your friends so you can enjoy the most. After Super Bowl. Yeah, it's going to be right there for the Super Bowl. I have high expectations. Thanks for responding, Max. LAFC have high expectations. I was with the leadership there. And the rule for LAFC when they come to these competitions is always win this tournament. and they have come so close. Even last year, they got to the quarterfinals, and that breakaway for Denny Bouanga that he just pushed, he scores that goal. They get by Inter Miami, and then who knows what happens against the Whitecaps. El Brian, no Coachella Invitational. Nothing's confirmed yet, but that's still in play. We'll see as LAFC are working out their preseason. Stay tuned to the LAFC channels. There will be news about that moving forward. Yes, Scarf Buba, Luis Lopez, the Real España goalkeeper. There'll be a nice moment for him. He loved his time here. I had a great conversation or two with Buba about his time here. It just wasn't meant to be, but they had a high expectation of him. It just wasn't right. There's nothing like CONCACAF Champions away days. And the fans will tell you, I went to Leon. It was unbelievable. It is a lifetime experience. I didn't get to go to Alajuelense. So LAFC will travel to Honduras, potentially to Costa Rica, and then no MLS teams, at least through the quarterfinals. Could be Cruz Azul, could be Monterrey, teams that LAFC have experience again. Certainly Monterrey in the Leagues Cup a couple years ago. I know people are asking about the dates. We will get those details here. The Sheeps, our road is going to be a grind regardless of our opponents since we will have a new coach. No question. There is going to be a process of adjustment. We don't know what it's going to look like. Marc Dos Santos, I spoke to John Thorrington today. He wanted to remind me that Marc Dos Santos is going to approach this a little differently. Even though he has all these players, he has some big plans on how to get the most out of this team. He has put in his time as a coach, the lower divisions where you had to swallow your pride. He has experience coaching in the top flight with the Vancouver Whitecaps. Did it go great? Not exactly, but that's your first gig. This is a job he has waited his whole life for. This is the job he wants it. He is going to do, effort-wise, leave no stone unturned. I've seen a lot of Leon fans supporting us in Nashville at the Club World Cup. How about that? Really cool. Do you think we'll be able to get far now that we have Marc Dos Santos as the head coach? I think LAFC always gets far, regardless of what I think. They've always made, at minimum, a quarterfinal. This is a very strong LAFC team. I can't imagine that they couldn't at least make that level too. And I think when they play a big Mexican team, they will have a really good shot here because the gap between Liga MX and MLS has closed. Look at the Leagues Cup. And I know these are games in Mexico, but just keep in mind a very good defense for LAFC. They will be able to prepare for the Mexican challenge. And when I say the gap is closed, it's more so teams like LAFC. I think they certainly have quarterfinal in them, and see if we can go a little further. See if they can go a little further. Very possible. You get by the quarterfinal, you are in business. We'll take a look at the whole bracket. I know some people we're talking about the matchups that stick out. It's the favorites are pretty well defined with regards to the teams. There we go. Thanks, our production team doing so well. Pumas San Diego FC, just on merit, has to be there. Winner gets Toluca, the top Mexican team. So Toluca, Inter Miami, these are the top-ranked teams from Liga MX, and Inter Miami won MLS. Sounders won the Leagues Cup. Alajuelense, the highest-ranked Central American team, and Mount Pleasant, the highest-ranked Caribbean team, got buys. I think you look at LA Galaxy, if they can get by Sporting San Miguelito, they will get Mount Pleasant, a game they will be favored. The draw for the Galaxy is pretty good if you're keeping tabs of that. The other groups that certainly stick out, I love Club America Olimpia. It's for the reasons I told you. They're going to be playing there at the Olímpico Stadium, and that is going to make things hard for Club America. Central American teams haven't done well in this new format. Historically, they have. And maybe they're a team that can make a run. They have a good roster of the Central American teams. They are the one that spend the money. I also want to say this about Alajuelense, if LAFC get there. That team they played in 2023 was good. The team they have now is better. So that's why they are in that position. That's why they have a bye. They are ranked as the best Central American team. So if LAFC can get by Real España, you can't just put them through in the round of 16. Alajuelense is there for a reason. That said, I would rather face Alajuelense then face Toluca or Inter Miami, potentially the Sounders. Oh, I think the Sounders I think I would have preferred to face the Sounders because they're in a little bit of flux, didn't have a great end to the season. When will the signings be announced? Jonathan asks. Free agency begins this week. I would imagine LAFC will be in the mix for somebody early. So here in December, mid-December, it's not going to be a DP signing, but we spoke to John Thorrington. Check out the conversation we had with him on Black and Gold Insider. He is certainly looking. It's not. He told us it wasn't going to be a DP. Might use the under-22 initiative. Certainly looking for some depth at all levels. Central defense, as an attacking midfielder, there are positions there that they will target. Expect a signing this week or next when free agency is running. They probably already have their eye on a guy or two, and a lot of guys want to play here. Oh, man, Goldchella being off. I didn't think about that. Andrew, Coachella still could be in play. We're going to get the details of LAFC's preseason very soon. They are looking to get everything in there. And what happens with the CONCACAF Champions Cup starting so early in February, you got to manipulate things a little bit to make it all fit. Vamos, Mark. I think so. Grandpa Eggy, what position do you think we need help with? I would like, Igor Jesus, he'll be back, but probably, when you have the MCL injury, it may take a minute. So I think you need a little more depth in midfield, maybe someone in that 6 role. They signed Mathieu Chouanier today. So they have Mark Delgado, they have Timothy Tillman, maybe a little cover there. Eddie Segura might be the guy to start with. If you're going to play with 3 center backs, which is what they did at the end of the year, maybe another center back in the mix, see when Aaron Long gets back as well. I know a lot of people want to see, they say a number 10. I don't think there's a number 10 there, but some attacking help from the front 3, whether it's depth or a starting piece, I think that could be in play here. I would not be surprised if that happens. Let's take a look. Let's hope Igor Jesus and Aaron Long come back healthy. We'll need them for CCC. I think Aaron has a better shot certainly does with his injury, and I've seen Aaron walking around. Igor Jesus probably have to wait a little bit longer. Here you go. I feel you, Andrew. John Thorrington always cooks. He does. This has been the standard from the beginning. Monterrey, Toluca, very scary teams. Vela, one last dance. I don't know about that. Maybe Jude gets minutes. Alex talking about Jude Terry, our under 17. I don't think Jude is there yet, but Jude's going to get there soon, and he continues to hit it. The kids have the time off. I expect Jude to be part of the main LAFC roster, and I think that's going to be very cool. Saludos, bendiciones. ¿Cuán que fechas empiezan a jugar LAFC? Bimo. From Juan. When are the dates for the games? For CONCACAF Champions Cup, it'll be the week of February 10th. Max, what are the chances we go after Salah? They're not going to go after Salah, but I think there's a couple clubs in MLS that could go after Mo Salah, which would be great for the business of Major League Soccer. Lionel Messi's presence has helped this team in so many ways. Let's look at the bracket one more time, and we'll put a bow on this. If you have any questions, fire them away as we take a look. Once again, LAFC has drawn Real España of Honduras, not the highest Honduras team, not the highest Central American team. This is a good draw. It could have been the Galaxy. It couldn't have been the Galaxy. It could have been a trip to Vancouver, not the Whitecaps, but Vancouver FC. It could have been potentially Ottawa. Could have been Olimpia of Honduras. I prefer to, for self-preservation purposes, to face Real España. Could have been a trip to the Dominican Republic. Could have been a trip to Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, the home of Forge FC. Forge FC. So Hamilton, it's going to be cold, really cold, right off the river. Off the lake cold. And it's going to be like 2 flights at the very least. That's a long, long trip. Juan Urquieta. We only care about LAFC, Max. I agree. So we'll focus in on that. I want Bogusz back. Is that a reality for us? Maybe. Matty Bogusz no longer in favor at Cruz Azul. There has been talk of him coming to MLS. I haven't heard anything about LAFC. We will see. Yeah, Salah will cost 50 million transfer fee plus his salary. I agree. That's going to be tough. They'll need some help from Liverpool for that to make it work. But it gets my stamp of approval. Real España, the winner gets Alajuelense, potentially a quarterfinal matchup against Monterrey or Cruz Azul. The top half of the bracket, Toluca would be the most likely team. They're the highest seed on the top half if LAFC were to make a semifinal. So in that, you avoid Inter Miami. I don't want to play Inter Miami the way they're looking right now. I don't want to play them. You avoid America, you avoid Tigres, and you avoid the Whitecaps and Sounders on that other bracket. All good here. Last chance for questions. We're going to wrap it up here. Forever grateful that Tottenham helped LAFC get Sonny at a reasonable rate. Exactly. You need some help there because MLS teams are not in the business for on the hook of 25 million transfer fee and another 20 million. It's got to make business sense. Major League Soccer might get there at one point, but we're not there yet. So I hope you guys liked it. Anyone want to ask about if you liked the draw? I think it was good. We heard some people say that it's going to be nice to be able to travel. I think that's a big positive. Sonny needs help. Perhaps, but they have a really good team as is ready to go. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back here to continue to get ready for this competition. One of our Korean fans, can you speak Korean? Hey, speak Korean. Not yet. Not yet. I have to work on it. I'm in a Korean household. We will try. LAFC Real España, February 3rd, 4th, or 5th. Check the LAFC channels for all the information. I am Max. Till we meet again, let's go black and gold.